Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of the SAFI webinar series. In this video, we are going to have an overview of the attributes of the loading surfaces. The user can edit the attributes of surface loads using the command surface attributes on the addition toolbar. It allows the user to change several attributes of the surface. The attributes that the user can change are the name of the loading surface, the color, the type of the loaded transfer, and the connectivity. The user can activate a diaphragm in the Diaphragm tab. When the user specifies a one-way distribution surface type, the sides on which the loads are distributed have to be specified. For the case of joist distribution, the angle of the beams must be specified in addition to one of the following series of parameters. 1. The number of joists. 2. The number of joists and initial spacing. 3. The number of joists and intermediate spacing. 4. The number of joists initial and final spacing, and finally 5. The number of joists intermediate and final spacing. Let's start our demo. To edit the attributes of a surface load, the user can double-click on the surface load, or we can use the command Edit Surface Load on this menu. We can also use the selection and activate the command Surface Attributes. In this dialog box, the user can specify the name of the surface load, we can assign a different color, and the most important parameter is the load transfer. To specify the load transfer, the user needs to select one of the options available in this menu. By default, the load transfer is a two-way distribution. For this type of load distribution, the loads are distributed on the surrounding members according to the tributary area of each member. There is no additional parameters for this type of surface. There must be members on all sides of the surface. The second load transfer is a one-way distribution. For this type of load distribution, the loads are distributed on two opposite sides of the surface. Next, we select the sides of the surface which will receive the loads. No loads will be transferred to the other side. The sides which do not receive loads do not need to be bounded by members. This option is not available for three-sided surfaces. Next, we find joist distribution. For this type of load distribution, the loads are distributed on the surrounding members by means of trusses. The loads transferred on the members are concentrated loads as truss supports, where the load intensity depends on each truss tributary area. To specify this type of load, the user needs to specify a few of the parameters available here. So, we can find the number of joists, the user can change the angle of the trusses by specifying the angle here, and the variables D1, D2, and D3 are the initial step, immediate step, and the final step. For the wood module, it is possible to assign a wood section or a joist section to the surface. The next option is redistribute to corner. For this type of load distribution, the loads are distributed to the joints at the corners of the surface as joint loads. The loads are distributed according to the tributary area of each corner. For this type of surface, members on the edge of the surface are not required. The last type of surface is lattice surface. In this case, the loads are distributed to all members laying within the surface. For the joist distribution, when the user specifies sufficient parameters, the software will display the calculated value by the software. In this case, by simply specifying the number of joists, the software calculates the initial step, the intermediate step, and the final step. The user can change the value manually, and the software will calculate the remaining parameters. Thank you for watching, and catch you in another one of our webinar series videos.